Now it's just after 10 to 9. It is a shocking statistic, but since 2010, 38 riders and 222 horses have been killed in accidents on Britain's roads. Last year, a campaign was launched to try to get drivers to slow down in an attempt to bring the number of incidents down. But incredibly, they've actually risen over the past 12 months. Now, we're joined by Laura Thorogood, whose horse died following a road accident, the safety campaigner Claire Lilly and Alan Hiscox from the British Horse Society. Good morning to you all. Laura, let me just start with you because, as we said there, your horse was killed in an accident. Tell us what happened and crucially, what happened afterwards to you?
Well, we was on a hack, was going out down Larkhill Road in Canewdon, and all I remember was being struck from behind. Don't remember any sort of braking, anyone sort of being aware of anything around me. I obviously resulted in being struck off the horse, flying in the air, somersaulting and landing on my back. I think I initially did like blackout because I don't really remember much apart from me just obviously sitting up and someone coming over to help me when obviously an ambulance service, etc. arrived.
And clearly an awful accident at the time, and then obviously long-lasting implications too.
Yes, yeah, I've still got suffering with back problems, chiropractor weekly, and not only that, it's the trauma and everything, the post-traumatic stress of it all, having to deal with it day in, day out. Being lucky to still be here alive is obviously, you know, a blessing in itself.
Alan, how common is this? Because we touched on there in the introduction about, you know, a campaign to bring down these accidents, but actually they've gone up.
We've said that our horse accidents website, and we published that out there. So that's why the statistics have gone up. In this past year, more people know about the horse accidents websites, but it's still shocking statistics. And we've collated these statistics. And the interesting thing is that 80% of these incidents are avoidable because drivers are travelling too fast or too close to horses, or both. So we're asking drivers to slow down to a maximum of 50 miles an hour when they see a horse, pass wide and slow and give a car's width when they pass a horse, and drive away slowly. And if drivers adhere to these messages, then we will save lives, drivers' lives, horses' lives and riders' lives.
And Claire, I mean, Alan there touching on some of the things that drivers can be doing and also riders. There's a particular problem in your village, is that right? Just talk me through how this happens and what some of the pinch points are.
Well, actually, on the bends that in question, the whole road is actually a 16, and the fatalities are due to the speed on impact. So one thing is we need to get the speed limit down for a start. Our road is a recreational route. There's lots of not only horse riders, but joggers, cyclists, etc. And that's not a safe environment for them to be in with a speed limit of 60.
I'm Laura Thorogood, and I was involved in a fatal road traffic collision with my horse Angel. Unfortunately, Angel lost her life at the scene, and from this we created Canewdons Equestrians, which is Angel's legacy.
Chris, I'm one of the local riders here. Been riding around up and down these roads for a number of years, more than I care to remember, and it's becoming more compact with cars. We're getting less chance to ride safely, to be honest with you. We have to cross these dangerous roads to get to the bridleways. We've had a couple of really nasty fatal accidents. It's just making people in cars aware that we are on the roads. We don't want to be a nuisance. We just want to get from A to B as safely as possible without causing too much hassle, to be honest with you. This is a lovely place to ride, it's a lovely place to live. It just means that people coming in now need to be aware that we are on the roads.
Here's a question. Is it time for horse riders to come off the roads? Are the roads too busy now? This is our answer. Horse riders are amongst the most vulnerable road users, but not the only road users. So if it's time for horses to come off the roads, what about cyclists? And what about walkers or pedestrians using country lanes with no pavements or paths? Are we to surrender our country lanes to the cars? Fast cars approaching slow-moving horses are a recipe for disaster. So please pass wide and slow, only when safe to do so.
Bridleway entrance is located on a double-blind bend and is often overgrown, which hinders drivers' visibility. This location in itself is far from ideal. Most fatalities on country roads are due to the speed on impact. Lark Hill in Canewdon and many roads across the country have been designated speed limits of 60 miles per hour and contain within them many blind bends.
On the 17th of November last year, little did I know this was going to be one of the worst days I had experienced of my life. I was one of the unlucky horse riders that was struck by a vehicle from behind whilst out hacking on Angel with a friend. We were out riding down Lark Hill Road in Canewdon, Essex, whereby we was literally a half a mile away from home. I know no one can predict the future, but I have countless times gone through my head why this accident happened the way it did. Unfortunately, it was due to the carelessness of a driver. I was wearing high vis, Angel was well behaved on the roads. We're always polite and courteous, but no matter how important these things are, this accident was due to carelessness on the bends in an area that was an advisory of 30 miles per hour. I'm very lucky to be standing here today. If it wasn't for Angel taking full impact of the accident, then it could have cost me my life also. I like to think Angel was my guardian angel that day and took her life for me. If only a little more care had been taken on that bend on the day, then this accident could have been prevented.
How do you guys feel about the common misconceptions all over sort of social media that's detrimental to the horse industry? Like, I don't know, why do horses should pay tax?
But you know, we don't pay road tax for horses in the sense that they're not creating emissions like a car, and it's also, road tax was abolished a while ago.
1930s or something like that.
Yeah, and we all contribute towards tax some way or another, regardless of whether it's a horse or a vehicle.
Yeah, our own sort of personal taxes.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course there's if somebody hits my horse while they're on the road in a car, they think it's their word against mine, which they've been right, but because of the video footage, headcams, the police are taking that seriously and they're prosecuting them.
This is Sultan, an ex-serviceman. He has guarded Queen and Country. He now enjoys his retirement after 16 years of service, and we just do gentle hacking. Unfortunately, in order to access the bridleways, we do have to be on the road for short stretches. These roads are often a national speed limit, but we really don't have a choice in the matter. Most of us will try to be sensible about what time of day we head out, avoiding the rush hour, etc. Please, just take 1 minute to look at my horse. He is 28 and an ex-serviceman, and if you see us on the road, please respect our space and slow down just for a couple of minutes to allow us the time we need to get off the road.
I grew up on a council estate in a single parent family in Essex. Someone asked me one day if I'd like to go and ride a pony, and then I was hooked. I have to work very hard to pay for my horse, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm certainly not from a privileged background, and there's a huge misconception that you're a snob if you own or ride horses. In my case, it couldn't be further from that. Horses showed me that there is an alternative, and it gave me a focus and invaluable life skills just by being involved with them.
Thank you for passing me wide and slow.